listen to a young girl who was saying that the Nigerian community here is totally very angry. Thank you very much for your from our government.
Was the Ijaw country of the Niger Delta of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He went to several schools. His major academic services was at the government college in Delhi.
Go gather, destroy their food. Make security camp and that other camp, Tongo camp. You don't compensate everybody.
In its generation sometimes. Today I'm focusing on the son of J.C. Clark, a poet and writer, and we shall also be very interested in his point as more dancer.
Lives are meaningful, some are empty. With too much meaning and riches to offer humankind. Long after some of these earthly adventures and no more, one can still find footprints of these great lives on the pavements of our contemporary life.
Good evening, you're welcome to the program Green Planet.
Good day, welcome to People, Places and Events and to the African Center for Community and Development, where we shall be carrying out the planting of spices on a bigger scale. Our intention is to suggest that it is possible to plant spices in bigger containers like we have here, not only in polythene bags, to be able to have more depending on your food needs, your business needs, or your family needs. We shall be planting spices in containers, and in this sense we are doing adaptive agriculture or smart agriculture, in that the spices that we are going to be putting here will be supplementing each other, as we know that when the soil is like this, it usually needs to have some micronutrient feeding in order that all the plants can do well. It is adaptive in that most of the plants here do not naturally grow here. So we are trying to create an ecosystem, a form of analog forestry, or we are creating or recreating a kind of spice forestry, if you permit the word, in which all these various species which are used in the dietary preferences around us in Cameroon are going to be planted. Hence, it is possible that we will be able to gain and to cook our various dishes from what we plant here. Also, the size of the container is also very vital, because it means that we are going to have more tubers here. There's going to be more space for sprouting and for growing and for germination of onions, which we have here, of garlic, of ginger, and possibly we might add other aspects like fever grass, which is used in the treatment of malaria locally. We will develop now our new ecosystem, and I hope you enjoy what we are trying to do here. I'm with Valentine, who is the animal head as well as the plant head of the African Center for Community and Development, and we will be jointly doing the planting. So before now, we actually placed some onion bulbs to germinate, so we are just transplanting them in order that they pick up faster. There you go again. We are planting the onion balls at different angles of the container in order that there is diversity in terms of spacing. We will be mixing it now with garlic. This is garlic. A lot of people get confused between onions here and garlic, because in their early lives they look almost similar. And we shall be planting ginger as well. Before now, the soil was treated with organic manure from pig and fowl dung, and we also introduced worms that will help to be our catalyst to break down these organic substrates into the finest of manure, which is necessary for the successful growth of these spices here. Pro 21st century sustainable development advocates that this kind of practices are replicated among sub-levels of population in order that we can achieve a development that is more meaningful and that impacts on the lives of the majority. Many have argued that capacity building would have been the main substrate of development aid over the decades, as it has generally failed in some developing countries, as many of the projects do not reflect the local realities of the people and are usually designed in areas that do not understand the regional specific issues that are vital for the successful implementation and the running of the project after donor exit. So we have enough to plant. In the backdrop you can see the onions and the garlic that have sprouted so far. This kind of practice is very important, as many people seem to be living in some kind of firmament that this kind of species will generally not grow in certain areas. But with the evolution that comes from field research and from testing, it is now clear that many of the things that cannot grow in certain areas can even be planted in greenhouses or in such mini projects as we are trying to demonstrate here at the African Center for Community and Development. There you go, that's ginger. It's already sprouting. It's been divided in order that we can have more ginger shrubs when it grows fully. That's an onion bulb which has been planted near it. That's garlic. In such rich soils, competition is usually minimal as there's enough food for all. The soil has proven without question that it is our most important natural resource. How it is used is another thing that many people think has to be explored even more meaningfully in this century, that the population is expected to grow to 9 billion by 2050. Valentine, do you enjoy planting spices?
Perfect. Actually, I really enjoy planting spices, as it is one of the things that is very important in the kitchen. You cannot do in the kitchen without spices like garlic and ginger, as most often it's always recommended in the hospital for patients by doctors.
Okay. So we are here running the project at the African Center for Community and Development to plant many different species in one container to have some kind of small garden within a container. What is your impression about it?
To me, my impression is that when we plant like this, it becomes like a green tree, a green forest, pardon, a green forest, and with diverse spices that can act as food substance to people. And at times, whereas they are planted in many in the same container, at times like that, it's like there is a little bit of competition for who to eat, who not to eat. And as there is enough, it makes them to grow very healthy and very well.
Perfect. Just like in the natural ecosystems, plants must compete for food, but then they can also supplement each other, as it has been proven by nature. And here is aloe vera, which is known worldwide for its medicinal properties, and it's been used in the making of skin or beauty creams. It's used here locally for the treatment of some stomach disorders and other issues, and we will be adding it to the spices. And then we shall be using water leaf. Here is water leaf. It's used in the preparation of one of the most popular vegetables here, eru, which is eaten not only in Cameroon, it's eaten in many countries in West Africa, including Nigeria. So we shall be adding it here, as it is a dish that many people like. In a way, this kind of spice farming is a strategic farming, because you plant what you need. More aloe vera in our other container, and water leaf. This vegetable usually finds it difficult to thrive in very heavy rains, and therefore it must be planted in somewhat shade, as we are doing now, in order that its lifespan can be prolonged year-round in the tropical rainforest area of Africa. It has some kind of pinkish reddish flower, and hence can also act as a way of lighting up their garden with its bulbs when it has blossomed. Here's the tiny bulb that's going to come up, and you can also see those that are going to blossom here in a jiffy. So we are here trying to plant various spices in containers in order that we can be able to have some kind of mini agroforestry in containers for those of you who do not have land, who are living in urban areas, or who are even having land but think that you want certain spices to grow year round, and also that you can have the spices that you need handy and you can harvest them from your backyard. Thank you very much for watching People, Places and Events at the African Center for Community and Development. It has been Arrey Ivo.
And you just listen to a young girl who was saying that the Nigerian community here is totally very angry. Thank you very much for your blessings on our
This was the Ijo country of the Niger Delta of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He went to several schools to make your academic services was at Government College to Delhi.
Go gather, destroy their food. With the camp. And that other camp, some of them, you don't compensate everybody. But some of them,
in its generation sometimes. Today I hope we can be in the style of J.C. Clark, a poet and writer, and we shall also be very interested in his point Agbo dancer.
Some lives are meaningful, some are empty. Lives that are meaningful, with too much meaning and riches to offer humankind. Long after some of these earthly adventures and no more, one can still find footprints of these great lives on the pavements of our contemporary life.
Good evening, you're welcome to the program Green Planet.